Welcome back to the RaptorsRapUp Podcast. I am your host, Aravind Lingam. Today we're talking about 4 things on the agenda today. First thing being the All-Star Weekend. Second thing being the Raptors versus the Bucks on Friday night. Third being the Raptors schedule for the upcoming week. And fourth being the playoff play-in format that the NBA is discussing. First, we'll talk about the All-Star Weekend, where we had Spencer Dinwiddie of the Brooklyn Nets win the skills competition. It was a good competition, I would say so myself, as Spencer Dinwiddie beat Lauri Markkanen of the Chicago Bulls, the rookie, in the finals. Most people had Lou Williams winning this one, but Lou Williams was eliminated by Jamal Murray in the first round. He couldn't make the pass. The pass is the most important thing of the competition. Spencer Dinwiddie was clutch, as he's been all season long. And congratulations to him, as Brooklyn won't look to make any moves or any playoff pushes this season, it looks like, as they prepare to get a good draft pick in the upcoming draft. Second, we have the dunk contest. Donovan Mitchell, the Utah Jazz, another rookie, came in and won this one. He was the late replacement for Aaron Gordon of the Orlando Magic, who was out with the hip injury, but was at the dunk contest on the sideline congratulating Donovan Mitchell on the championship. Donovan Mitchell did have some great dunks. He sported the Vince Carter jersey and did a classic 360 windmill, which was nice. Not Vince Carter-esque dunk, because Vince Carter had like crazy length and like crazy hops, so it looked more just with that pizzazz. Plus, Vince Carter's a entertainer. The whole reaction and the buzz, it was just electric to watch his dunk contest back in 2000. Donovan Mitchell outbeat Larry Nance Jr. of the new Cleveland Cavaliers in the finals, as he was pulling off his dunks of his dad's dunks. That was great to see as well. Dennis Smith Jr. had the best dunk of the contest, as he dropped a reverse 360 through the legs, switching hands in the second round, but he failed to score any points for his first dunk with a double pump reverse. And Oladipo sported a Black Panther mask and didn't hit his first dunk, so he was pretty much out of the game early. That's the problem with the dunk contest format that I feel like they should have 3 dunks per dunker per round. So before they qualify for the next round, they should take the best 2 dunks out of the 3 dunks that they attempt. If they miss 1 dunk, it's pretty much over. That's the problem. But congratulations to Donovan Mitchell on a good competition. It's tough to follow up on the Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon dunk contest, but it was great to see. And third, we got the 3-point contest. Devin Booker, the Phoenix Suns, won this competition with a record 28 points in the final round. It is a new format where you have a money ball rack though, so the contest max score increased from 30 to 34, but hitting 20 of his 25 balls is pretty damn good. And Klay Thompson came close in the second round with 25 points, but wasn't enough. Tobias Harris was also in the last round, the new LA Clipper. He dropped in 17 points and 18 points in the first round to get him to qualify. Kyle Lowry struggled once again in these 3-point contests. He's just not made for this kind of spot-up shooting kind of atmosphere. He dropped in a casual 11. He was second last to Paul George, who came out breaking everything. He dropped in only 9 points. Congratulations to Devin Booker, the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns don't really have that much to celebrate. They've lost a lot of games by a lot of points and are destined for the lottery once again. Next thing I want to talk about is the Team World vs Team USA in the Rising Stars competition. This was pretty much over right from the beginning. Team World just came out and showed out. They dominated from the beginning. Both teams played relatively hard. No one was trying to get hurt. These kids have a lot of future in front of them, and no one's trying to go too hard. Bogdanovic of the Sacramento Kings, no relation to Bojan Bogdanovic of the Indiana Pacers, was the MVP of this game. Well, he dropped in 27 points off the bench with hitting 7 threes. He played great. Great highlights in this game. Donovan Mitchell off the backboard, Vince Carter-esque, T-Mac-esque dunk. Then we had Jaylen Brown, left-handed through the legs, beautiful dunk, did it twice. Then we have Dennis Smith Jr. had a soft 360, and then we had John Collins catching an alley-oop from Donovan Mitchell, high-flying one-handed slam, beautiful to see. Other than that, it was pretty much domination. Team World won by almost 20-30 points in this game. It was out of hand early. Nice to see this a bunch of rookie and rising stars in the league. The league's in good hands. Only problem I see was there was no Raptor influence. None whatsoever. There was 4, you could say maybe, I would say 4 people who could have made it. Siakam, Pirtle, or Van Vliet, or OG. I think Delon Wright's past that, but even him maybe. None of them made the team, so it was tough to say. The coaches didn't select them, even though all 4 of them are on the best bench in the NBA. All 5, I mean. And the team is number 1 in the East for a reason, right? Raptors get snubbed once again, but we've been overlooked once before, so nothing new here. Just hope the young kids respond and are strong in the second half. And the last but not least, here we have Team LeBron versus Team Curry. Team LeBron was the victors in this one, as they rallied back to win this one. LeBron James and Kevin Durant dominated this game with their defense, as well as they shut down Steph Curry at the end of the game on the game-tying 3 and forced him to pass it to DeMar DeRozan, who couldn't get a shot off at the end of the game. LeBron James was named MVP, dropping 29, 10, and 8. Easy game for him. Just typical, as he takes home the MVP honors for the first time since 2008. This is the 3rd time he's won the award, but it's been a while since LeBron has played that hard. You won't ever see an Anthony Davis 52 points if they play this much defense, so I can tell you that. These guys came out to play. Nothing easy, contested shots, no easy dunks. It was great to see. The competition was way better. Definitely like the new format. DeMar DeRozan had a chance to get the MVP if his team won. He led the team with 21 points and was tied with Damian Lillard for points, but he had 6 boards as well, so it looked like he had a good chance of winning it. Kyle Lowry, of course, struggled shooting wise. Kyle Lowry struggled again in the All-Star game. He shot the ball poorly, but he did have 11 assists and 7 rebounds. So he did have a Lowry type of game, of course. But the bragging rights goes to Dwayne Casey and the staff as they win this one and take it home as they get back to the real season, the NBA season. And on Friday, the Raptors, continuing their 7-game win streak, brought it in to face the Bucks at home, at Raptors home. And what a game, let me tell you that. Raptors played good, a good first quarter, terrible second quarter, terrible third quarter. Pretty much let the game get out of hand. Looked like the Raptors weren't going to be anywhere close. Looks like the Bucks are going to take this one, but they came back and they stormed back with their defense. And the bench mob especially brought this game back, as Siakam's energy and Pirtle's defense was key to bringing this game back into the Raptors' hands. They took the lead late in the game, but as it was happening all game long, Giannis was hitting tough shots on isolation as when he got the switches, and the Bucks were hot for 3-point land as they shot 50% from three, which is not going to happen often. They're ranked 26th in 3-point shooting behind us, who are 21st in 3-point shooting, but Jason Terry hit 4 or 5 from 3. That's not going to happen all the time. But the Bucks are without both Matthew Dellavedova and Malcolm Brogdon, two of the primary ball handlers. So losing a game against them where they were just penetrating and getting anything they wanted, inside out, dunks, threes, open looks, Raptors defense was nowhere to be found. They somehow made it to OT, overtime, where it was a great play to get it to overtime. Casey and staff drew up a play for, out of all people, Jonas Valanciunas, who faked the handoff to Lowry and DeRozan and took it to the rim and dunked it. John Henson fouled him, but no call on the play. Refs didn't blow the whistle. Similar play happened in overtime. John Henson fouls JV blatantly in the face on a dunk. JV finishes the play, of course. No call again. Raptors bench livid, but that's all the refs are nowadays, just making bad calls after bad calls. But this game ended off with bad shot selection, too many offensive rebounding, and no ball movement, to be honest, in this entire game. The Raptors deserve to lose this one, as the Bucks snapped the Raptors' season-high 7-game win streak. Raptors lose this one at a score of 122-119 in the Bucks' favor. The Raptors get back on the road against the Detroit Pistons on Monday, and then the schedule next week is pretty easy. All 4 against Eastern Conference teams, 1 day off in between each team. Monday, Detroit. Wednesday at home against Orlando. Friday at home against Washington. And Sunday against Charlotte. I can see the Raptors going 4-0 in this one. The only problem here I can see is the Washington Wizards, who have been playing well of late without John Wall. But I think the Raptors can take this one since it's at home. It'll be nice. It will be a nice test. Plus, typically we might face the Washington Wizards in the playoffs, so you gotta be prepared for that. Last but not least, we're talking about the playoff play-in format. This is one thing I really like. It's about the 7th and 8th place team in both conferences face off against each other. Winner becomes the 7th seed. And then the 9th and 10th seed of each conference face off against each other as well. The winner of that one faces off against the loser of the 7th and 8th seed match. All these games are one game, winner takes all. If you lose, you're out of the playoffs pretty much. Except in this scenario where the 7th and 8th seed face each other, the loser of this faces off against the winner of the 9th and 10th seed battle. Winner of that becomes the 8th seed. So a 10th seed and a 9th seed one of the two could make it to the playoffs just like that. Say if the 10th seed beat the 9th seed and then beat the 8th seed that lost to the 7th seed in the first match, the 10th seed could be in the playoffs. And making the playoffs, it's more than just losing in the first round. You gain experience, you gain revenue, and it just brings about a buzz in the city. The chances of, maybe we could upset them, maybe we could steal a game off, let's say, the Warriors or the Houston Rockets, or see how the players either shrink or show up in the playoffs. It's great scenarios, interesting to watch. It'd be nice to see, and why not? Uh, they played around with the All-Star game already. Why not just take a chance and see if this works or not? You can always resort back to the typical top 16 teams make it. The top 8 from each conference make it. People are talking about taking the top 16 teams. I don't really like that format. It messes up the conferences. Geographically, it doesn't make any sense. If, let's say, the Raptors face off against the Warriors, travel time doesn't make any sense. And the Raptors and Warriors don't face each other as often as the Raptors face the East teams, and Golden State faces the West teams. So it's all in all, you're gonna have to change the schedule. You're gonna have to extend the season because they can't travel in less time because it's a farther distance. So there's a lot of work to be done if you're gonna try something like that. And this play-in format, which was first reported by ESPN's Zach Lowe, it's a great idea, I feel like, and prevents people from tanking as much because teams have a higher chance of making the playoffs, and it's better for revenue. And if, for example, a team like the Miami Heat, who won 30 of their last 41 games last season, were one of the hottest teams in the NBA. If they were in the playoffs last year, they would have caused some ruckus and made a lot of noise in the playoffs. But honestly, since they were just outside looking in and didn't have a great start to the beginning of the season, they didn't make it. I honestly felt like they were better than probably the 8th and 7th seed that were in the East that year. But since they made too late of a push, they didn't make it. And honestly, people say it's a top 8 best teams, but not always. Because injuries happen, people take some time to mesh together. You don't always start off on all cylinders. So this would give lower seeds a chance to make the playoffs, and it would be nice to see. But you know what? It's getting some tread. But Adam Silver and his guys are looking over it, and maybe if they do go there, it would be nice to see. That pretty much wraps it up for this weekend's version of the Raptors Wrap-Up Podcast. I'll catch you guys next week with a new Raptors Wrap-Up. Hopefully the Raptors go 4-0. Peace out, everybody.